Snow Scrapes, Jean G.
That was the sound of my latest experience in the snow. Growing up in the hot, dry city of Johannesburg, not known for its snow, I always jumped at the opportunity to be able to have some fun in the snow. And it surprises me really, because most of my snow escapes have been quite painful, to say the least. I think the scene was set right from my first time that I spotted some snow. I was sitting in the classroom, and the next minute we noticed that it was starting to snow outside. It hadn't snowed in Johannesburg for over 20 years. Wow, were we excited. The teacher said that after we'd finished our assignment, we could go out and have some fun. Oh, I was busting to go outside, so much so that when I ran outside, I slipped down the stairs and I went plunk right on my bottom, right in front of the headmistress and the visiting superintendent. I hadn't even made it out into the snow and I was down. My second attempt, many years later, was nerve-wracking to say the least. We were in Canada and were invited up to Whistler for a weekend of skiing fun. My husband Keith and our buddies are quite experienced at skiing, so while they were daredeviling up and down the mountain, I was going to master the art of snowshoeing. I wasn't too far away from our chalet when I spotted this big open field, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go and investigate the forest behind there. But I had to go back to the chalet and change my shoes to put on my snowshoes. Unfortunately, once back inside the chalet, I slipped down some stairs and banged my knee horribly, so much so that I was in excruciating pain and couldn't move for a while. That was the end of my afternoon's excitement. That evening, when all the skiers came back, I told them about the fact that I was going to walk across this field and go and investigate this forest, when I saw the blood drain from their faces, when they told me that was no field, but a lake. Boy, was I glad I banged my knee. It turns out that the sign thin ice had also fallen down. Surprisingly, none of my snow escapades deterred me, and I decided that it was about time I learned to ski. So we thought we'd start off with something gentle, some slow cross-country skiing, sorry. Did I get that wrong? There was nothing gentle about cross-country skiing. I fell about 8 times on very hard ice, and I hadn't even made it out of the training track yet. One ski went that way, and the other ski went that way, and my body went, well, you get the picture. A couple of days later, I was at the chiropractor, and I mentioned that my lower back was just a tiny bit tender, and I was wondering if it had something to do about my numerous falls on the ice. She said, do you think? I thought I'd actually dislodged a couple of brain cells, but that's another story. I even seemed to have that clumsy effect when other people were around me on the snow. My dad came to visit while we were in Canada, and we decided we'd take him up to Whistler and show him the sights. Well, while we were up there, I said to him, you know, this is quite tricky, some of the paths are slippery and icy, let me take the camera from you while we climb this mountain. He hands the camera over, the next minute, oh, he loses his footing, and there he goes, whee, down the mountain. I couldn't help it. Packed up laughing, and I thought, oh, next second, plunk! I followed suit. The two of us were heading down the mountain and stopped short of these rather jagged-looking rocks. I was really glad when I looked at him that we were both still in one piece with an undamaged camera. I'm sure by now he has surmised that when I'm around snow, I often encounter problems. But I have to let you know that I do appreciate the beauty of the snow. But there's also nothing better than sitting inside a really safe cafe, drinking hot chocolate while watching all the goings on about me. Wish me luck, because in a couple of weeks' time, we're off to the snow. And I have no idea what plunk adventure awaits me.